Hey guys, super quick intro to the video today. I'm going to take you through Zapier's email parser and set up a two-step Zap under the free account so that you can pull data from an email and put it straight into Gmail that you can send. So for example, if you get a contact form, someone completes a contact form and you get an automatic email for that contact form, then pulling out the data from that contact form and then sending an email to that person to let them know that you've received, and you'll follow up shortly. So check out the Zap and let me know what you think. So I hope you've been watching the rest of our videos and you feel like you're starting to get a good handle on using Zapier and all the different ways you can use it and make the most of it for your website, for your internal processes and automation, for your business and your teams and departments. We've still only done very beginner level classes because we're still using the free level of Zapier, which only includes two-step Zaps. And today it's slightly more difficult because we're going to look at the email parser. And the email parser is a way to look at or explore an email that you receive and extract specific information from that email. So there are many platforms out there that maybe don't have such a great integration with Zapier, or maybe you don't want to mess around with that. And instead you can just get the email notification that that the platform would normally send you to your email, and you can extract the data from that email using the email parser from Zapier. And so it's not perfect. Sometimes it doesn't always work as you expect, but generally speaking, it's a pretty good solution, pretty easy sort of solution. So we'll have a look at that today. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by creating a new Zap, and we're going to use the email parser to extract information that we get when someone goes to our website and fills in our contact form, and then to send that person automatic email to let them know that we've received their contact form and that a human will reply soon. But in this case, it'll be kind of a generic message that goes to that interested person. So if we go back to the test website that I've created using Wix, and this is just a generic site, basically just being created to set as an example. So someone comes to this website, just like they go to your website, and they go to the Contact Us page, and they'll fill in a contact form, like so. So we can have a name and the email. And then the message. If I can spell, there we go. And submit. So that message has gone through. Hopefully your website has a much nicer and much better form in place and form notification, but we won't go into that for today. This is just to set an example for Zapier. And then if we jump to the email account, this is the test email account that we've set up just for this Wix and just for these Zapier examples. But this email's come through, and you can see here that it's come through with the name of the person who submitted it. This is a Wix, default Wix email. Wix have forwarded it. And they told us that there's a site visitor who submitted a new contact form to our test site, the name, the email, the message. Okay, so now what we're going to do is go back to Zapier, and we're going to set up the email parser. So the email parser by Zapier, it's called. It lives within Zapier, but in a different sort of subdomain. So what happens is we get a new email comes in, and then we're going to need to set up the email parser. So we're going to log in with our Zapier account, and we authorize that login. And then we authorize. And now we customize the email. So the emails are going to go, see here, this is only triggered when an email is received to a specific new mailbox that we set up in our email parser. So if we go to the parser, this is Parser. The domain is parser.zapier.com. You can see here. We go to parser.zapier.com, and we're here. This is our email parser by Zapier, just for our particular Zapier account. And we need to create a mailbox because we don't have any set up. And then now it's created an example one here. So we can copy that. And now we can forward the email that we've just received from Wix as an example email but we need to remove all the elements of the email. This is the address that we've been given by Zapier, right? So it says send an email to this address. So we're going to send the email, but we've got to remove anything that's not part of the standard email that would be sent from Wix. So all the forward information, we've got to remove that. And we want to just have the information from the email only going through, so it doesn't get confused. This the robot, the system that we're sending to. So we're going to forward that now. We send that. And then we go back to the mailbox that we created in the email parser. And let's refresh that. Let's hope something's come through. Yay, okay, good. So we've got it. And what first thing I'm going to do before we go further is I'm going to rename this so I can remember what it's for. So I'm going to call it the Wix contact form. There we go. So now we have this domain, now we have this email address that we can use, which I'll show you in the next step. But first we're going to set up this template. So when an email comes in, which includes, this is the raw info that comes in. It looks like a lot of code, but actually this is like, there's a link, this is the text version of our email. So there's links and things like that which are hidden. If we go back to the email, that's this link here, is actually this full link here. We can ignore that for now. What we want to get is this key information here. Click name, email, message. Okay? And we highlight the sections that we want to use as data in our Zap. So for example, we want the first name. So we can try and grab that out. Sometimes this doesn't always work. Depends on the robot, on how smart it can be, the parser. We'll give it a shot. We grab that, we're going to call that email. And then we have the message. Let's pull all that out, we'll call it message. Actually, we'll just pull this part out, we'll call that message. Okay. So now we have all this detail. The rest of it is from that email template. We don't need that for now. And we're going to save this address and template. Okay, there we go. So now let's send another email here. Before we do that, actually, okay, so we have this new email. Now what we're going to do is set up an auto forward in our Gmail, and you can do this in any email platform that you use. But in Gmail, it goes like this. So we'll go to settings, and we're going to go to forward, and we're going to add a new forwarding address, and we're going to paste that Zapier robot email. And then we're going to get the confirmation. And our confirmation code has been sent to the mailbox. Let's have a look for that, if that's come through. Yes, here it is. So let's just steal that number there, just so that we can give confirmation or approval to auto forward to this domain. And we're not going to auto forward all emails. We're just going to set up a filter. So then we do a search. Well, let's save that first. And now we go to this email. We want to create an auto forward in Gmail for this email address, for this email comes through. So any email that includes the text, a site visitor just submitted a contact form to Terrific Test. Let's try that. So we'll go any email that includes these words. And then we're going to create, we've added that there. We could also say from Wix, but I won't do that for now. We'll just leave it as with this text. And we'll create filter. And then we say, we can apply the label, Wix contact form, just so we can keep track. And then we want to send to the forwarding address, this one that we just set up, create filter. Okay, now we can go back to our form. Let's do it. Let's fill in another one. Okay, Mary Johnson, test, gmail.com. Thanks for your help. Please send me details. Okay, so we submit that one. This is now trying a second form. This one should then come into our inbox. We'll just archive these for now. And hopefully we'll get another form come through soon. So let's wait for that. And then it will automatically be forwarded. We'll delete this. This is just for setting up the Gmail forward. So we'll just delete that one so it doesn't confuse things. And then we go back to the mailbox and view the emails here. Let's hide this one. So this is the first one that we've come through. And while we wait for this email to come in, the email parser works by receiving an email and then looking for a pattern in that email. And based on the pattern, based on the words that you outline, it will then pull that data or those words, that area of the email, out into the Zap, into data fields that you can then use in later steps in the Zap. Sometimes it's supposed to be quite smart, but it depends a lot on the complexity of the email. So sometimes an email might be too difficult for it to follow or understand, and the parser might not have very much success pulling out the data. But in some cases, most cases, it works quite well for simple emails. So in this case, let's see. And when we have a couple more emails come through, we'll know whether this is going to work or not in this case. So let's see if that email has been sent through. Cool. So now the email's come through, and we can see, so it's gone to our Gmail, and then it should have auto-forwarded then to our other account as well, into the parser. So let's jump into the parser. And let's refresh. Yay, okay, it's come through. So you can see here, this is the text that it's pulled out. So you can tell it hasn't done a very good job. It's actually pulled out the first name. It thinks that the name, first name and surname are both first name. Email seems to be correct. And then the message, for some reason, it hasn't finished the rest of the message. So I'm going to say that this is inaccurate. And I'm going to try again. First name, let's try. Email, let's try and let it learn a little bit. And message. We'll save that as another template. Okay, let's try one more time. Okay. Please send pricing. Submit. Thanks for submitting. Okay, let's go back to our email. Let's wait for that next email to come through. There we go. It's very fast. Okay, all that his details are there. Let's see what Zapier thinks of that. Let's jump back to that mailbox view. Okay, so the email's come through now to the email parser, and we can see, hey, done a much better job. So we can see it's got the first name, it's pulled that, and then the email, and then the message. Perfect, I'm going to say that that's accurate. That's wonderful. So now let's go back to Zapier, and we're now going back, we've set up the first part, and we've got to continue setting up the trigger, which is the email parser. So just to go back, so we set up the email parser for trigger a new email, and then we just have to select which mailbox, which we renamed it, so now it's very easy for us to follow. Continue, and then Zapier should pull a couple of example emails from the email parser. So let's have a look. Hopefully it's got that latest one, Fred Wilson. Let's see. So you can see here, this is you probably don't have to worry about any of this, but we've got some information about the email, so the date, for example. All these different elements we can use in the Zap as the data that's been pulled in. So then this is the pass information. This is the information that's been passed from that email. So the message, the email address, and the first name, Fred, and the full message. So that's excellent. So we can take this and we can use it in the next part of our Zap. So then let's set up an email to be sent. So we're going to send an email using our test Gmail account. We're going to add in that email address that the person has filled in for us, the pass output email. We won't CC. and we'll say from our email address, our name, and the subject will be thanks for your inquiry. Hi, first name. And then we're going to say, thanks for your inquiry. We're doing plain email, but we can also use HTML and set up with HTML tags. But in this case, we'll just keep it simple and we'll keep it as text and plain. So thanks for your inquiry on our website. We've just wanted to let you know we've received it and we'll get back to you shortly. Here is the message you sent for your reference. And we'll just put that in brackets, in talking marks, and then we'll add in the message. Where did we put it? Message. There it is. Feel free to reply to this email with any additional info. Cheers. Done. And we can also add a mailbox and add attachments. We won't do that now. We'll send a test email. So the test email is going to go to this email address. Hopefully it's a fake email, so no one will receive that. Let's send a test and we'll see what happens with the Gmail account. Okay, so just going into my sent mailbox here, you can see the email has been automatically sent. Hi Fred, thanks for your inquiry on our website. Just want to let you know we've received it and we'll get back to you shortly. Here's a message you sent for your reference. Please send pricing. Feel free to reply to this email with any additional. And there it is, all sent. So now this, every time, if we go back to the Zap, let's turn that on. We'll name it. Okay, we'll turn it on and then we're going to name it. So we're going to say automatic reply to contact us on Wix. Done. So now let's go to my Zaps. So now, whenever anyone gets an email, and whenever anyone fills in our contact form, they will receive an email from Gmail from this account. So they complete the contact form, and within a few minutes, they'll receive a reply to their inbox, which says thanks, and says whatever message you want to include. So the person, the contact feels like we know that we have it, that we have their email, and we're going to follow up shortly. And they can also easily reply if they have any additional comments or queries they want to add into that. And so then it's a very simple two-step Zap. But if you were to have a few extra steps, you can also add in reminders to your to-do list, or save something in your calendar, or save the contact in your email marketing system or your sales CRM. All of this could happen as follow-up steps as well. So what we could do is in future Zaps, in future videos, we'll go through and we'll include a couple of examples in just the two-step Zap for what you can do now that you have this email parser set up. And we can do a few more follow-up things for that as well. So go ahead, subscribe, and let us know if you have any other thoughts or questions, things you want to find out more about. And look forward to seeing you in the next video. Cheers.